Happy Monday out there, Team 42. It's your skipper here, Darius to present our macro minute for Monday, November 24th, 2025. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We had a great weekend up in New Haven. Congrats to the mighty men of Yale football for taking down the formerly undefeated team from up north and securing not only the Ivy League title, but also the first FCS playoff bid for the Ivy League. So we're proud to represent our Ivy League brethren in the FCS playoffs. I just wanted to send a special shout out to Coach Reno and the boys for delivering such a phenomenal performance and a phenomenal season to the Yale football community as well as the broader Yale community as well. So super thankful for that. So as always, we'll start with the executive summary from today's Lit Off Morning Note. So let's hop right in. Today's key macro question is: will the Fed engineer the Santa Claus rally that everyone is already positioned for? The short answer is probably not, given the timing of backward-looking data releases and the backward-looking reaction function of the tardy Powell Fed. In terms of the analytical nuance, with the December 9th through 10th FOMC meeting representing the next major catalyst for markets, investors are stuck extrapolating from stale economic releases delayed by the U.S. federal government shutdown. September retail sales data due Tuesday are projected to show cooler spending, with households still constrained by elevated prices heading into Thanksgiving and Black Friday. In addition to September retail sales, this week brings September PPI on Tuesday, August business inventories on Tuesday, September durable goods orders on Wednesday. Jobless claims will be released a day early on Wednesday, alongside the latest Fed's Beige Book. Both indicators of the labor market will carry extra weight as the Fed leans on alternative gauges in the absence of fresh jobs reports. Investors should note that the October jobs report has been canceled, and the November jobs report will be released on December 16th, 6 days after the December 10th FOMC decision. October CPI has also been canceled, and November CPI will be released on December 18th. Fed Governor Chris Waller has doubled down on his push for a December interest rate cut and emphasized that once a heavy slate of economic data starts to arrive in mid to late December, the Fed can shift towards calibrating policy on a meeting-by-meeting basis. Pricing in money markets now implies a roughly 80% probability of a December rate cut, after the probabilities whipsawed in recent weeks amid widening divisions among policymakers and the ongoing data blackout. Chris Waller, who is currently being evaluated by the Trump administration as a candidate to replace Jerome Powell as Fed Reserve Chair next year, said he had a great meeting about 10 days ago with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who is directing the interview process. Describing that interaction, Waller said, "He and I seem to hit it off very well, talking about economics, the economy, financial markets." Regarding their talks, Waller indicated that they've never been political. They're straight about economics, and that's just been a great time for me to sit and talk with him. While we applaud the apolitical approach to replacing Powell, we can't help but notice that a Waller-led Fed wouldn't be much different from the tardy Powell Fed. Specifically, more backward-looking data dependency equals more bad monetary policy outcomes. In our view, Chris Waller has already signaled he is not the appropriate person to replace Fed Chair Powell in May, most notably because of his comments last month that it's not the Fed's job to respond to any structural deterioration in the labor market due to the broad-based adoption of generative AI. This represents a historic degree of burying one's head in the sand and that the most important institution in the world cannot afford to have as a core feature of its reaction function. Let me read that again. This represents a historic degree of burying one's head in the sand that the most important institution in the world cannot afford to have as a core feature of its reaction function. We reiterate our call that Rick Reeder of BlackRock is the only serious candidate for the job to guide the institution through much-needed structural regime change. As always, members of our global investor community can trust that our institutional-grade risk management overlays, KISS and Dr. Mo, will help our portfolios navigate these emergent risks better than investors attempting to manage risk without systematic rules or relying on fundamental research alone. Transitioning to our 42 macro dashboard here. As always, to wrap up with a question from our community. This one's titled, Gratitude Unexpressed Isn't Gratitude, so here it is. It says, I've been following Darius Dell for nearly 4 years, but I didn't officially join 42 Macro until April. Candidly, I used to be a DIY investor riding years of good luck until a single high conviction trade cost me $250,000. I spent countless hours researching markets, developing unhelpful confidence, and convincing myself that I was a great investor. The truth was simple. I had no real risk management system. Since joining 42 Macro, my entire approach to markets and honestly my entire mindset has changed. The past 2 weeks alone have shown me exactly why I signed up Seeing the process, the data, and the discipline play out in real time has been eye-opening. I'm deeply grateful for the peace of mind I've gained through this framework. Thank you, DD, and the whole 42 Macro team for building something truly special. My only regret is not joining sooner. So no real comment. I don't have anything to add to that. Just want to say thank you for the incredibly kind feedback. This is generally the experience that most of our customers get. We tout this all the time, but very proud of this. Probably the most important statistic in our business is the fact that we have roughly a 3.5%, somewhere thereabouts, attrition rate. And that's roughly a third of the attrition rate that Apple has with one of these. And this is by far considered to be the best product in human history. Maybe I'm not saying 42 Macro is one of the best products in human history, but I certainly do believe that it's one of the best products that you can buy at, certainly at the price point that we offer it at, in terms of delivering really positive outcomes, a positively skewed return distribution for investor portfolios, and just as important, the peace of mind and the security, knowing that you have a credible institutional grade risk management system to guide, to basically eliminate the type 2 type errors, the big errors from your portfolio on a consistent basis. If you can just do that, the productivity growth and monetary debasement and financial repression, those things will take care of the rest in terms of making your portfolio increase in value. You don't have to do anything to make money. But what you do need to do is you need to do things to keep the money that you make. And obviously we have a large and growing community of thousands of investors around the world that are, very happy because they are keeping the money that they made at such a high degree and at a high frequency than relative to what they probably experienced prior to joining us. And so, again, super grateful for that. Super grateful for this this feedback, and just excited to get back to work. After we conclude this macro minute. So let me stop bloviating and get you guys back to your days. Everyone have a wonderful day. Darius Dell presenting our macro minute for Monday, November 24th, 2025. Go Bulldogs! Cheers.